Hey guys, welcome. You know what? We took full advantage of our day off on Sunday, which I think we really needed. We had 4 games in 7 days. I thought our guys did a great job in handling those games. And then yesterday, came back to the practice floor, really focused on ourselves, our bodies, did a lot of shooting, a little bit of prep for Ohio State. We're going to get ready to practice here shortly and then catch the flight to Columbus. I thought as I've been saying, we've been getting better, and I thought, those last 2 games helped us see that we were getting better. Obviously, continuing to need to work on defense and rebounding, but I think we showed ourselves what we can do if we continue to improve and continue to play the right way.
Thanks, Coach. With that, we'll go to Justin Morgenstein, and then Mark Brennan, you're on deck.
Hey Jim, how you doing today?
Great, Justin. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. After going through the schedule that you guys did last week, with the 4 games in 6 days, what does it just mean to go back to a normal routine, just both physically and preparation-wise?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know what it was? It was a little different. I think it was a little different for our guys. We talked a lot about making sure we had the right mental approach to coming back Monday. Because we've been, just like walk through game, walk through game, walk through. So to get back in a group, more so today, because of those 4 games in 7 days, we probably could have taken off Monday as well. Just had 2 days off to recover. But talking to the players and talking to Saz and Greg, our strength coach, we felt it was important to get back on the court after a full day off. But we really didn't have a full practice. It was more about, reviewing the game, getting on the floor, breaking down some of the things offensively and defensively, getting a lot of shots up, getting movement again. So today will be more of a traditional day before game practice, which you really haven't had in a while. So we'll see where we're at with that.
Mark Brennan, let's come to you next, and then Adam Jardy, you're on deck.
Thank you for your time today, Jim.
Anytime, Mark.
Hey, what can you tell us about Miles and his status? And can you address his impact on a game more than just offensively? Because he seems to be one of your more versatile defenders. And what do you lose when he's not there? Thank you.
Yeah, first thing with Miles, like I've been saying, it's really, we judge it day by day as he gets through treatment. He was out yesterday. He was able to shoot in all the drills with us yesterday. Today we're going to take a look at him before practice and see if we can get him in some live stuff. And the decision will probably be made, tomorrow at shoot-around, depending on where he's at after today's practice. Miles is one of our most experienced players. Miles played in a lot of big games for us. He's made a lot of big shots for us. Extremely well coached. Really knows how to play the game. So he's a big factor in what we can do. More so with depth too. Like we were kind of shorthanded with depth, and having Miles be able to play multiple positions is vital for us. So, I think once we get him back, hopefully we can continue to improve on what we're doing and add a veteran player to the mix.
Adam Jardy, let's come to you, and then Nate Bauer, you're on deck.
Hi, Jim. You've had your schedule this season disrupted, I think, as much as anybody in the league. And I just, from your viewpoint, what has it been like, I guess, working with the Big Ten, trying to get through all this? How do you think the league has handled just kind of having to deal with all the disruptions? Because obviously there's going to be, more teams are going to deal with this as the season goes on. There's certainly going to be more things coming. How have you seen the league just, I guess, try to help you get through this and figure out what's next?
Well, I think the Big Ten and our administration, Lynn Holloran, they've been great. I mean, it's really been fluid, but there's been a great line of communication open. This is really unique, and it's really difficult. I mean, the sacrifices that everybody's made, the kids, the coaches, the trainers, and then the Big Ten office and our administration. Like, I'll be honest, we didn't really know we were playing Ohio State till around Sunday at, mid-afternoon, 12:30 maybe, by the time we figured it out, right? So I normally wake up Sunday and start working on the next opponent, and I couldn't do it. But you got to be fluid, you got to be flexible. But I thought the Big Ten has done a great job with it. Our administration has done a great job of it, and our players. I sent out a text message. I went out to dinner with my wife and my son after the game, and then saw all the news, so I kind of texted the players like, sit tight. Opponent's probably going to change, and really didn't get them the opponent. But that's the way the year is, right? That's why we have to do it. And fortunately, we're a really connected group. Our team is really connected, and I mean that, by the way we play, but also there's always constant communication amongst our players and our staff, and we're all on top of it. And we just, being able to flip the switch very quickly, you just have to be able to do it.
Thanks, Coach. Nate, let's come to you, and then Corey Geiger, you're on deck.
Hey, Jim. Just given the timing of the pause, right? You were about to go to Columbus. How much of the prep that you did the first time around carried through for this? Did that alleviate anything, I guess, in terms of preparing for this game?
I'm a creature of habit. So even though I did have the scouting report done in my mind, it's still 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later. They've gotten better. So I kind of basically go back and start from scratch. I mean, this, 2-3 weeks can really change a team on what they're doing or how they're playing. I mean, it's doing it for us. So I kind of just scrapped what I had done before and then refocus. My staff, these guys, they're awesome, man. They do such a great job. So they're on top of it. I mean, Ross Condon, as soon as we got that call, man, boom, right to it, breaking everything down. Hudash, Ergs, whoever scouted is, they really get reorganized and get refocused because, I am such a one day at a time guy. I've always been that. I'm always a one opponent at a time guy. So, yes, I was a little anxious Sunday morning. I needed something to do to watch. So I watched our game over again, but waiting to find out who you have and then just get to work quickly. And again, having experienced guys on our staff really hitting the ground running helps us with that. And then again, obviously there's some stuff that was already done that still held true for going into this game.
Corey, let's come to you next, and then Tammy Moose, you're on deck.
Jim, you mentioned a couple of times early in the season that your team was confident. You felt you could beat anybody based off some of the accomplishments of recent years. Did you sense that wane at all in the 0-5 start, or was this group did they still feel like they were close and they could go out and beat anybody?
Yeah, Corey, I really don't think we waned at all. I mean, it wasn't even just the success that we had in prior years, the success that we had early season. I mean, we went on a road and beat a top, I don't know what they were, 15 in the country. They just beat Villanova. We beat Virginia Tech. Seton Hall's a really good team. We know we were just as good, if not, we should have won that game. Even the Michigan game at Michigan, we lost close. No one has lost close to those guys. No, we have confidence. I think it was more of getting games under our belts. Like I've been saying that for a while, and I don't want to be a broken record. I'm certainly not trying to use it as an excuse. We just hadn't played that many games. And for guys that have played before, the rhythm of the game, the flow. We never were able to get into it. And we played a really tough schedule. And we've talked about it all the time in this league. You have to have tough skin. You got to be able to move on quickly. And you look at it like, I got several texts from coaches in our league, just saying what an unbelievable job we did at the end of this week to do what we do and win 2 more games. And a bunch of schools are going through it, right? Rutgers lost a bunch in a row, and then they go out and beat Indiana, Northwest. People are losing it. This league is just unbelievable. So you can't win. And I don't think our guys' confidence did. And I put that back again to how connected we are as a group. I think we have pretty good composure within this group, and we have unbelievable leadership with John and Jamari and these older guys. And I think, our message as a staff is, stay in the present, focus on getting better. And I think if we do that, we're going to continue to get some wins here.
Thanks, Coach. Tanny Moose, let's come to you. Ben Jones, you're on deck. You are currently the last question, so now we've got one more from Corey. So let's go ahead and go to Tanyan, then Ben, then Corey.
Hi, Coach. Do you think that kind of your practices over this past couple of weeks have looked any different as far as like a team morale standpoint? I'm sure from like a player's perspective, it must have been great to come out of that stretch with your first 2 wins and just 2 wins in general. So do you think they kind of have a little bit more pep in their step and have more energy going forward into your schedule?
Yeah, I mean, listen, wins, right? The coffee tastes better, the pizza tastes better, right? Everything is better. But like I said, man, our guys have been great. They've come out every day same focus, same drive, same energy to practice and get better. Last week's practices were really, they were unique in the fact that they were walkthroughs. We come in, we shoot free throws, save our legs, walk through the opponent's stuff, and get going. So today's practice will be a real live practice, one-day prep that we normally do. This time of year, you're not really going much more than an hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to get to that shortly here. But I expect it to be high energy. Our energy yesterday was fantastic. Our focus yesterday was fantastic. So hopefully we can keep that going. You're coming into February now. In a league like this, you really can't use much energy up in practice more than an hour or so because, these games that you play, they're so physical against really good teams. So we'll see where we're at today.
Ben Jones, let's go to you, then Corey, and then Adam Jardy.
Jim, this is sort of a hypothetical, but when you took the job here as an assistant under Pat, what was your 5-year, 6-year plan in your head after so many years of being a head coach? And did you think, obviously not the circumstances that you got here, but did you think you would be in this position again at this point? What did you think you were going to do the next 5 or 6 years?
Ben, that's again another good question. So I was a head coach, for 19 years. Had a lot of success, and I'd always said to myself, gee, I would love to get a sabbatical and just kind of keep learning, see what other people are doing. I didn't really want the sabbatical that way. And then when Pat gave me the opportunity, it was an unbelievable opportunity for me because I was coming into the best conference in the country and working with someone that was going to really give me a lot of input and a big role. And then I really used this time to get better. I became a better coach over my 3 years here as an assistant, being able to compete against some of the greatest coaches in this league and working with the staff here and getting better. I always said I always wanted to be a head coach again. It was always a goal of mine to be a head coach, but I also wanted to use this time to get better. And I think I've done that. Obviously, being put into this situation was very different. I would never think anything like this. But it was an opportunity, and it is an opportunity for me to get better and coach. So my goal has always been to be a head coach, and I would like to be a head coach. But that stuff will work itself out.
Corey, let's come back to you, and then we're going to go to Adam Jardy and Mark Woganich.
Jim, we don't get to talk to Sandy Barber very often. I'm assuming we will get to speak with her at 3:00, and I'm sure one of the things she'll be asked about is the future of the men's basketball program. Does it affect you and your players, even more so your players, at all right now, for today, for this week? Do you see an impact on some of the questions or any uncertainty in the way you and your players go about things?
You know what? We've been having the mentality of staying present from day one, and that's what we're doing. Our guys are doing a fantastic job of it. Our staff is doing a fantastic job of it. I think I'm doing a good job of it. Listen, I'm not out here to politic for this job. That's not what I'm doing. I'm coaching this team. That's my job. It's about these kids. I am here to give these guys the best experience that they can have in an unprecedented year in this world, and that's been my focus. And you can ask anybody. I haven't worried about what's going to happen after this. If I'm telling the kids to stay present, I have to stay present. I'm the one with the most experience, and we are focusing on this group, these guys, and making sure that these guys have the best experience. We're trying to win. We're trying to compete. We're trying to get to the NCAA tournament. I haven't had time to focus on what's next. And like I said, that stuff will take care of itself. And I'm certainly not going to use a platform like this to take anything away from my guys or politic for a position like this.
Jim, do you think your players are doing that they're just enjoying the present?
I do. I really do. I don't think they're focused on that. I think for us to do what we've done this week, I think shows that. It shows how connected we are. It shows that we're in the present. They're not thinking about what happened in the past. They're not looking to see, okay, when the season ends, what's this going to be? Who's going to be the coach? I think we've done a good job, everybody, all of us, that we're staying present. And when you have to. This is such an unprecedented situation with COVID and things changing. For our mental health, I think it's the best thing for all of us to do. And I think we've done a good job of it. And again, I go back to the leadership of John and Jamari and MJ and Miles and all these guys. We've done a really good job of being positive and staying connected and enjoying what we have right now, enjoying the ability to play basketball and enjoying the ability to play basketball with each other, right? Like this isn't a pro team. This is a college team. Your college team you only get for 1 year, right? Guys graduate, some guys transfer. So you really only have that team for 1 year. And I think that's what we're trying to really appreciate what we have right now and enjoy ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go next to Adam Jardy and then Mark Wogenrich, and then we'll go back to Nate Bauer.
Jim, a few moments ago when you were talking about preparing for Ohio State the first time compared to preparing for them now, you said they've gotten better since you last scouted them. What has it been like preparing for this game? What do you see in this Ohio State team as you prepare to play them?
Yeah, they're really, Chris Holtman does a fantastic job. They're a really, really good team. In the past couple of years, they've started out well and kind of maybe fade a little bit. They're doing just the opposite now. You can just see them getting better and better. Really unselfish team, an exceptional passing team. Their pieces really fit well together. They can score the ball, inside. They can shoot mid-range. They shoot threes. Really good defensively. They've always been good defensively, really tight. You got to move them. You got to be disciplined to play against them. There's a reason they're ranked, I don't know what they are, top 15, top 10 in the country. Got really good players, really well coached. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a really good challenge. That's what this league is every night. You got to play a team like this. They're coming off a fantastic win at Wisconsin. Nobody wins at Wisconsin. And to see them play like that, E.J. Liddell is one of the most improved players in this conference. Kyle Young is just he's there. John Harrar, man, just his toughness. And I think Dwayne Washington's having a fantastic year. So they got a lot of weapons. We're going to have to be really disciplined, and we're going to have to play really well.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Mark Wogenrich, and then we'll wrap it up with a final question from Nate Bauer.
Hi, Jim. Thanks. Earlier you had said the things you're trying to do are win to compete and to get to the NCAA tournament. Do you think this is a tournament team now or can develop into one over the next 6 weeks?
Yeah, I think we can develop into one. I think we're pretty close right now. I mean, we've had the hardest schedule in the country. We've had some good wins. We got a lot of opportunity ahead of us. We have to continue to play better. I think we have to continue to get better. And that's really the focus. Like, we really don't talk about it much as a team, about getting to the NCAA tournament, because if you focus on getting better every single day and do what you have to do to get better, then you're going to have an opportunity to be in that tournament. And that's what we're trying to do here.
Let's go to the final question from Nate Bauer.
Jim, you just mentioned nobody wins at Wisconsin. What have you noticed about the home road? What have your impressions been of those different environments this year so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been different, Nate. It's kind of been a little strange, especially because the Big Ten, right? We lead the country in attendance every single year. So when you go in there and there's no crowd, it's definitely a little bit different. But ultimately, it still comes down to whoever plays well is going to win the game, and I think that's really played out. I mean, we've got so many good teams. It's still an issue. I mean, sleeping in your own bed, keeping to your own routine, I think really helps. It helps these younger guys. It helps college-age guys, and that's how I think you see, maybe the home team is winning, continually still winning, even though the crowds aren't here. But our league, it's just so good, man. It's the best I've ever seen. The best I've ever seen. So it really comes down to the team that can minimize the mistakes, and the team that can execute them best. And for us, it's the team that, whoever doesn't foul, we give ourselves a chance to win games. So I think it's playing out for everybody. You really got to just focus on who you are and play to the highest level you can.
If I could follow real quick, is there any less pressure? You go into Colon, it's 17,000 people on top of you, like the players themselves. Have you noticed any difference?
You definitely notice the difference at Purdue. Because when you're at Purdue, everybody's right on top of you, and you notice that they just weren't right on top of you. But ultimately when the ball gets thrown up as a coach, I don't hear anything. I don't hear the sneakers squeak. I don't hear the fan yelling at me. You just don't. You're so focused. So, but maybe for the kids, it's a little bit different. Again, we've played on the road quite a bit too, right? Indiana, Purdue, Illinois, at Michigan. But again, I still think it's about the routine and the comfort of being at home in your own rims.